Red Bull has stopped the guessing and made its plans finally public. The team has confirmed its complete driver plan for 2026, and it matches what people in the paddock have been whispering about for days. Max Verstappen will have Isack Hadjar as his teammate at Red Bull Racing. The sister team Racing Bulls will field Liam Lawson alongside Arvid Lindblad, and Yuki Tsunoda, after years in the Red Bull system, will not have a seat next season. These choices were locked in before the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. That early call gives the newcomers a clear picture of their future and lets Red Bull focus on its 2026 build without distraction. For Hadjar and Lindblad, this is the reward for long, steady work in the Red Bull Junior program. For Tsunoda, it marks a hard end to the chapter that brought him to Formula One in the first place. Let's start with Isack Hadjar. His promotion to Red Bull Racing is one of the biggest breaks any driver can get. He will step into the main team next to Max Verstappen, a four-time world champion and the gold standard in modern F1. That is a huge task for any driver, let alone one coming in from the junior squad, but Red Bull does not make these calls lightly. Hadjar put together a strong 2025 with Racing Bulls. He showed raw speed, smart racecraft, and most importantly, a habit of scoring points. People inside Red Bull say his maturity and consistency stood out, and that convinced them he is ready. Hadjar is 23, which is a good age to take this leap. He did not rush through the ladder. He learned in Formula 3 and Formula 2, then proved himself in F1's midfield. Now he gets to test himself against the very best. The expectations will be tough. Red Bull does not promote a driver to give them a year to warm up. They want results quickly. Hadjar will be judged against Verstappen from the first race, and that comparison is brutal. No one expects him to beat Max week in and week out. That would be unfair, but he needs to be close enough, close the gap over time, take podiums when they are on the table, and play a real part in the constructors' fight. If he does that, he can build a long career at the top. If he can't, Red Bull has never been shy about moving drivers around. Over at Racing Bulls, the story is all about fresh talent too. Arvid Lindblad will make his Formula One debut at just 18 years old. That puts him among the youngest on the grid and says a lot about how Red Bull rates him. His rise has been fast. 2 seasons in Formula 4, then up to Formula 3, and now Formula 2 this year. It is a quick climb, but the team thinks he is ready. Lindblad already sampled F1 machinery in practice at Silverstone and Mexico City this season. Those runs gave Red Bull data and a look at how he handled the car and the pressure. Evidently, the answer was positive because he now has a full-time race seat. Racing Bulls is the right place for a first season. The spotlight is softer than at the main team, and the environment is built for growth. Lindblad will pair with Liam Lawson, who has more F1 experience and can help him handle the jump. Make no mistake though, this step is huge. Formula 1 cars are quicker, the field is deeper, and mistakes cost more than in Formula 2. Lindblad will have to learn fast. But Red Bull has a history of testing young drivers early, and sometimes that sink or swim approach creates stars. Liam Lawson's part in this is steady and important. He keeps his Racing Bull seat, which is not a shock. His 2025 was chaotic. He began the year in the top team, got replaced by Yuki Tsunoda at round 3, and then moved back to Racing Bulls. Even with all of that movement, he delivered. After his return to the junior team, he scored 38 points, showing he can perform under stress and adjust quickly. Red Bull wants to hold on to him, and Racing Bulls gives him the best chance to lead and improve. Lawson's role next year will be different from anything he has done before. He will be the senior driver in the garage, the one who sets the standard and guides a rookie. He will be expected to bring points on a regular basis and help Lindblad get up to speed with the car, the tyres, and the pace of a full season. If Lawson does that job well, it could put him in the frame for a future move back to Red Bull Racing. If Hadjar struggles, or if Red Bull decides to switch something mid-season, Lawson will be the obvious first call. And then there is Yuki Tsunoda. For 2026, he has no seat. That is a tough blow after years inside the Red Bull family. He came into Formula 1 with AlphaTauri, which later became Racing Bulls, and he stayed there for 4 seasons. At the third round of 2025, he finally got a shot with Red Bull Racing. It was the break he had been waiting for, but he could not make it stick. Since joining the main team, he put up just 30 points. In a car fast enough to fight for podiums, that total did not match what Red Bull needed. The raw comparison hurts him. Over at Racing Bulls, Hadjar scored 51 points. Lawson, after returning to the junior team, put up 38. Both outscored Tsunoda while driving slower cars. For a team that runs on data and results, those numbers were the deciding factor. Red Bull looked at the trend and they chose to move on. What happens next for Tsunoda is not simple. The 2026 grid is full. Every team has confirmed its drivers. There are no open seats to chase. He could sit as a reserve, but he has said he does not want a year on the sidelines. He wants to race. So his next move likely lies outside F1. Japan is the most natural landing spot. Tsunoda has backing from Honda, and Honda is strong in its home series. Super Formula offers very fast cars and serious competition. Super GT is packed with factory teams and top drivers. Either series would give him a real career and a chance to win. It would not be Formula One, but it would be a worthy stage. With fans who already love him, he could rebuild his momentum there. IndyCar is another door he could knock on. The series has welcomed many drivers from other paths, and several Japanese racers have done well there. It is a different style of racing with ovals, street tracks and road courses, but the level is high and the fan base is wide. If Tsunoda wants to stay in single-seaters on a global level, IndyCar could fit him well. There is also a long-shot path that involves Aston Martin. From 2026, Honda will supply Aston Martin with power units. If Fernando Alonso retires at the end of 2026, a seat might open for 2027. Honda could push to place Tsunoda there. That would require timing, politics and proof. Aston Martin will have strong options. Tsunoda would need to show top form somewhere else first. Still, Honda will have influence in that partnership, and that gives him at least a small chance down the line. The larger truth is harsh. Formula One is unforgiving. Once you are out, it is very hard to come back. Teams keep a close eye on the next group of young talent, and they often prefer to bet on the unknown potential of a rookie rather than give a second try to someone who did not hit the mark the first time. Tsunoda had 4 years in the junior team and most of a season with Red Bull Racing. That is a lot of time to make a case. Comebacks do happen in F1, but they are rare. If he wants another shot, he has to dominate wherever he races next. He must win, and he must remind people why he was rated so highly when he arrived. When you look at Red Bull's choices as a whole, the theme is clear. They are doubling down on youth and upside. They are investing in drivers who can grow with the program and maybe turn into long-term leaders. It is a plan that paid off before. Max Verstappen entered Red Bull's system as a teenager and became the centerpiece of the team. By putting Hadjar in next to him and giving Lindblad a runway at Racing Bulls, Red Bull is hoping to repeat a version of that success. With this announcement, the 2026 picture becomes sharper. Red Bull knows who will drive its cars. Racing Bulls knows its lineup. The focus can shift to preparing the new season, and the internal noise can quiet down. For Hadjar and Lindblad, this is the beginning of the adventure they have been chasing since karting. For Lawson, it is a chance to lead a team and strengthen his claim on a future Red Bull seat. For Tsunoda, it is the end of one road and the start of a search for the next. Now it is your turn. Did Red Bull make the right calls? Is Isack Hadjar ready to take on the pressure of the main team beside Verstappen? Will Arvid Lindblad adapt quickly at Racing Bulls, or will the jump from Formula 2 take longer than expected? How do you see Liam Lawson handling the role of team leader? And most of all, do you think Yuki Tsunoda can find a way back to Formula 1, or is his future now elsewhere? Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and leave a comment below. See you in the next video.